Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Leo energy, and we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Leo energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Leo energy. We all have our dualistic nature. We have free will. We have our more worldly, immature nature that would love to be in the driver's seat of our life. But hopefully we've all learned some lessons in life, and we've tempered our more worldly, immature, egoic, impulsive, all about ourself nature. And hopefully we're making more mature, loving decisions in our life. But, everybody's got free will. And some people have learned more lessons than some others. Some of us aren't as bold and brave and as confident as we would like to be, and other people are. And we've all got lessons to learn in life. Thing is, we'd kind of like to hang out with people who are on the same page as us at any given moment in time. So we might want to move forward differently in the top row, but our more worldly nature, wanting to stay in our comfort zone in the bottom row, could cause us a problem. Because if we're going to go live our life differently and take action on our truth and some new way of living life, we might have to get out of our comfort zone. That can be scary. We have to do life a little differently than when we were doing it before. Might have to speak our truth, take action in truth. Might have to detach from some certain friendships or relationships or jobs. It just depends on why it is and what it is that is motivating people to move forward in life differently. So some people could be struggling within themselves, and that's where they're at and what this reading is about. But there's also other people that are moving forward in life, and it's not a personal reading. So I'm going to read it from all these different perspectives. You can listen to your intuition about where you're at. We all tap into Leo energy. Are we becoming more free from the things that manipulate us and being more authentically ourselves, operating from a place of love and hope and faith and belief? Or are we still kind of letting more of our fears and our insecurities drive the decisions in our life? But there's going to be some people that are moving forward in life differently, and there's going to be some people in their life that aren't moving forward in that way, because we all heal and grow and mature and become more bold and brave and confident at different times in our life. So it's just to see the truth of it, accept that everybody has free will. Everybody is where they're at. Everybody's going to live their life based on how they view life, what they find motivates and inspires them, what makes them feel balanced to a degree within themselves, what they find enjoyable. So what's going on? In the top row, the reason for the reading is the thinking woman, and the way I read tarot is the masculines can represent the action that we're taking in the world and how we present ourselves in the world. The feminine figures depict how we really think and feel. Now, the reason for the bottom row's reading says a woman holding a heart. And I think this looks like a man dressed up like a lady, which in high vibe, that can be good. Because we all take action in the world in our more egoic nature, which is masculine energy. Hopefully, we're a balance between our worldly egoic nature and our emotionally intuitive loving nature. And then we are kind of like embodying both aspects of ourselves, taking action from love. And some people were living their life a certain way. Maybe before they were kind of looking like they loved themselves or had hope and faith and belief in love, but they could have been operating more from their ego. And then as they went through this life experience, they really became more aligned within themselves, and they saw through the emotional confusion and the illusion, and they looked at life from a higher perspective and had hope and faith and belief in their dreams again. And so then they come up here in the top row having more hope, came into some healing, some growing, some maturing during a life experience they had been in. And part of the previous life experience could have been, some people that we could have gotten in relationships, we thought they were like us, that they were authentically who they said they were. They were taking action in the world. kind of in masculine energy, but letting love be the defining factor in their life. But then we could have found some people, it was kind of like wearing a costume. They were trying to present themselves in the world as being motivated and inspired by love, but it was just kind of an illusion they were creating. It really wasn't authentically who they were. So let's go look at the bottom one. And if it wasn't someone else, we have to realize how we were maybe being more authentically ourselves. Because I view High Vibe Leo as being more authentically yourself, kind of coming into your own. Every time we go through these phases of life that we come in contact with all these different people to help us get clear about our truth. Every time we go through those life lessons in life, certain phases of life, it's kind of like we remove a layer of our more worldly, immature nature, because as we keep moving through life, we keep expanding our perception of ourselves in the world and what we believe is possible, right? And that's like High Vibe Aquarius energy. And we shed a layer of ourself, of maybe kind of more of our false mask, some of our fears, some of our insecurities, our codependent nature, to have hope and faith and belief in our dreams. Let's go look at what was or is going on for some people. We have a card not showing itself, which is the Angel of Balance. We can all live our life a certain way, and then when we keep living our life that way, even though it's kind of like time to move on and our intuition is telling us, come on, this is getting old, we've done this, we've been here, we've done that. It's just time to grow up and mature ourselves in some way, face some of our fears and insecurities to start moving and go to the next phase of life. But we were all, at any point in time in life, based on where we could be in our life, we can get a little out of balance. And we also, the Angel of Balance reminds me of the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. When we go to a certain phase of life, just like when we were age 15 and 18 and 21 and 25, it was perfectly just and fair for us to live our life like a 15 or an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old. That's where we were at in life. That's how we viewed life. That was the stage of life we were in. So when we first get into a phase of life, it's appropriate for us to be in that phase of life. Do we have lessons learned at that phase of life? Yes. But at the time we get into that phase of life, we're not, it's kind of like to go live the life experience, to learn the lesson. And we're not at a phase where, oh my gosh, I got to try to wrap my brain around what's going to go on in my life, age 15 to age 17. It's like, no, first just live your life. Find out what it's like, learn the lessons you're supposed to learn. Later, when there is nothing new to learn there, and you've kind of learned everything you could at that phase of life, that's when you start to be inspired to kind of go to the next phase of life. I've been here, I've done that, I'm ready to go to the next phase of life. But initially, we're not. So, we have some anxiety, broken heart, fourth chakra, the heart chakra, and the community card, working together with others. In our worldly nature, it's part of human beingness that we want to be in community with others and in relationships with others. And we can get in relationships with people. We can all have some of our fears and our insecurities, and we want people to like us. So kind of putting our best foot forward. And we could have some pain and heartbreak and some fears and insecurities. Hopefully we're operating from love and we want to work together with others cooperatively. And we're all learning these lessons. However, with this card not showing itself, sometimes the way I view that means that with some of the people that we could have been in relationship with, we harness this energy differently and we didn't know it. And that's why it's not showing itself. At any stage of life, we can come into contact with people to work together with them. And we're kind of drawn and attracted to certain people, because we have lessons to learn from them. And if we were both to do this work together and everybody kind of took action to offer them self-love, to deal with their own fears and insecurities and their past pain and heartbreak, and offer love to the past so that we can move forward and work together with people cooperatively, then this relationship would move to the next phase of life. Everybody moving forward to that next phase of life. And some people are doing that. Some people have done that. Some people are just in the midst of a relationship to try to figure out, are we going to work through this together to get to this next phase of life? But the truth sets us free to go to that next phase of life. We have to deal with something. We have to, am I fearful of love? I've been hurt before. Am I willing to kind of listen to my intuition that the people that I'm in a relationship with have probably, you get some life experience under your belt. We can all have a little stress and anxiety about if somebody's is being just and fair, Are people, shadowy Sagittarius can also be people that have some lessons to learn in life and maybe they're kind of immature and just like to indulge themselves in a relationship. And some people aren't motivated and inspired. They completely reject the Angel of Balance card. They're just tipped out of balance. I'm tipped out of balance in favor of my worldly nature or my immature nature, my indulgent nature. I just try to present myself as loving so that other people will get in a relationship with me. And shadowy energy can be that, we've got lessons to learn and we're maybe not listening to our intuition. And sometimes that's why that was the lesson we were meant to learn. That how many times did we get in a relationship and our intuition was telling us, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think we should do this. I don't think this person's who they say they are. And it's like, well, I want to be in a relationship. And there is something there, or I probably wouldn't get in a relationship with them. And so you can keep putting in work and effort. And one of life lessons is start listening to your intuition more. Because I think our intuition was given to us as a gift. And the Angel of Balance, like Temperance card, would be like a universe card. And sometimes when we have these lessons to learn, and that some people are experiencing right now, they're not listening to their intuition, even though their intuition could be telling them something's not on the same page here. Either one person, you kind of get the sense that somebody isn't who they really say they are. They might really live more from their mind than their heart. Maybe a little more live from their mind than their heart. Maybe a little more reserved or cold or detached. But we can ignore it. We can know people that have a lot of stress and anxiety. That interferes with how they work together with us in the relationship, but we can ignore it. We want things to work out the way we want them to work out. Also, Sagittarius energy and fire energy, Leo's fire energy, Aries' fire energy. Are we even motivated and inspired to heal, to grow, to mature ourselves, to look at life from a higher perspective, have hope and faith and belief in ourselves, in love? Some people have already decided no. Again, people have free will. Some people are like, what perspective? A higher truth and justice? Then what? Well, the world tries to tell us, ignore your intuition, you're the boss, it's all about you. Go, figure out what it is you want to do to make you feel better and go pursue that, to go indulge in that, to feel better. That's the answer. But I think the answer is love is the answer. That is the higher truth. And it starts within ourselves. To love ourselves so we get out of our head and our fears and our insecurities. We're not meant to be imprisoned and enslaved by things. Our mind was created to protect us, but sometimes the biggest thing that people are protecting themselves from is being hurt in love. And it kind of ends up that their mind and their self-protective nature runs their life, but they want to be in relationships, so they kind of present themselves as more open to giving and receiving love than they really are when they're not. And some people don't think the answer lies within them. No. I'm supposed to go indulge in those things in the world. Those are the answer. And for some people it can be drugs, alcohol, food, gambling, sex. Other people, they look to relationships. You are my savior. You are going to make my life all better. The only problem is when people make other people the answer to their problems, and they're not doing the work within themselves to wrap their brain around this game of life and deal with some of their own fears and insecurities. What happens when their fears and insecurities bubble back up? Oh my gosh. I cannot keep moving forward with these loving, encouraging, supportive people in my life because something is wrong. They're not doing their job. They must not be the right person. My fears and insecurities wouldn't bubble up if I was in a relationship with the right person because they magically make all my problems disappear. And I think there's some people like that. And if their fears and insecurities bubble up, they do not take this inspired action within themselves to maybe think that they have their own fears and insecurities that they came into the relationship with, have maybe been carrying with them for decades, but they don't want to do with it. And everybody has free will to view life whatever way they want. And if their idea, living more from their mind than their heart, listening to their intuition, connecting in with their emotions, is that, no, it's not, I don't have to do that. That's not like my job. That's someone else's job. I go get in relationships with people for that. So they never take responsibility because it's not, as far as they're concerned, they could feel betrayed. The Queen of Swords can be, I feel betrayed. And you could have known some people who are like that. It's like, you're not doing your job. Like, if you have issues of your own that cause you stress and anxiety and fear and insecurity and maybe some past pain and heartbreak, I don't control your mind. I don't control what thoughts and emotions you sit in every day that you dwell upon over and over and over and over. There's other people who do view themselves as loving, and they can be kind of, a loving, nurturing person in relationships, but they don't want it to be like a balanced relationship. I like to view like I'm God, I'm your savior, I'm this loving person, and you be this person, an imbalanced relationship. You be this person down here that's stressed and worried about if your dreams will come into reality, and then you look to me to be the answer to all your problems. And if you start to do this work within yourself, like behind the scenes, being inspired in your own Sagittarius energy, to work through some of your fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs that, you have learned to love and believe in yourself, and now you want this more balanced, loving relationship. It's like, oh shit, what did you do? You changed. Well, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone like that. This is how I like relationships. I like to view myself as this loving, nurturing person in people's life who need my help. If you do this work within yourself and you learn to love yourself so you're not in maybe more codependent energy, looking to me for love and encouragement and support and to be the shining star in your life or savior in your life, and you found it within yourself, well, you're not codependent on me anymore. If I wanted to do a relationship like that, I would have went and gotten a relationship with someone who was more healed and stable or grounded or loved and believed in themselves. I got in a relationship with you. You were stressed and you were heartbroken. You're my kind of person. That's who I like to get in a relationship with. Because then you view me as this loving person who's working together with you. And I like it to stay like that. And if you do heal and grow and mature yourself during a relationship, well, then they're all stressed out emotionally because you got balance within yourself. You learned how to love yourself. You're operating, kind of being more independent and self-sufficient within yourself. And then they're like, oh my gosh. In order for them, when one person in a relationship dynamic changes, it changes the whole dynamic. And the other people kind of have to maybe adjust how they interact when people have changed. It was like, well, we can't do the same old thing we did before. Like playing this game, I do this and then you do that, and then I do this and then you do that. It's like, I might have done that and played life that way before, and things were kind of predictable because of how I used to be before. But I did this work within myself. I've kind of looked at life from a higher perspective, and I kind of became more authentically myself and learned to love and believe in myself. And so, kind of that I'm not going to respond the same way I used to respond before, or interact or view life the same way I did before. How differently do we handle life? The difference between how a 15-year-old would handle things and maybe like a 21 or a 25-year-old. And I just use those ages because we can all relate to how much we changed and grew and learned and matured and faced our fears during those times to learn new things that we never thought we could learn. The whole thing is it's supposed to go on throughout our life. And some people could have thought when they got to a certain stage in life, they were good. I'm done. Let's do this. And this is the way I've decided I want to do a relationship. And then they can get in relationships with people and kind of be on the same page, can have some stress, can have some fear, can have some heartbreak, want to be in a relationship. But then we realize that one person is maybe a little more defensive to being more authentic and loving, kind of vulnerable in a relationship. And that maybe kind of tipped out of balance into their fear and their insecurities and stuff. And then other people can be quite loving, nurturing people. And then we have an equally out of balance relationship. I'll give, and you be defensive or fearful or whatever. And I'll keep give, because I'm expecting that one day, it'll maybe become a more just and fair and balanced relationship. And you will magically become someone other than through all your life decisions up to this point. Think about the ages of the people that you ever got in a relationship with. They had to do the debate within themselves to decide what kind of human being they were going to be. And when they lived all those life experiences and had all those decisions to make, they aligned with, I'm going to be defensive to love. And we went through our life experiences and we could have came out saying, I believe in love. How hard would it be to get you to completely change your mind and your life and how you view life? So we can be kind of naive, kind of in our ego. Shadowy energy can be about being in our ego. Oh, I can change them. Oh, I'm sure when they get in a relationship with me, they'll choose love. Oh, I'm sure they'll quit drinking. Oh, I'm sure they'll quit being immature and impulsive. I'm sure they'll quit being bossy and controlling. People are where they're at. We should respect that people are where they're at. And with that, whenever we kind of talk about that in tarot, it kind of reminds me of the Bible verse and story when Jesus and the disciples went out to spread the good news, and they were told if they went to a town to stay in someone's home, if somebody invited them to stay at their home. But if those people weren't open to the good news, they were to dust the dirt of their home off of their feet and leave. Wish them peace, love, and joy, but we're not on the same page. I didn't come here to try to convince anybody. I'm not going to cry at your doorstep. I'm not going to beg. Are you on the same page? Are you open to treating other people the way you like to be treated, being just and fair and operating from a foundation of hope and faith and belief and love? No? okay, I accept that that's just where you're at. And why would, why wouldn't I get in and go into a relationship with people who are moving forward in the same way I am versus people, if you were to look at life as going down this stream of life, and they're sitting there clinging to a branch or setting up camp on the embankment. Oh no, I don't want to go down there. I haven't been down there before. Okay, well, if I get in a relationship with you or try to, I'm going to have to stay right here too. And it stops me from growing to my full potential because you decided to stop here on the lessons of life. And I maybe already went past that spot before. Now I'm just going by again to tell people the good news about what's ahead, to be bold and brave and confident. And I meet someone who set up camp. You might stop and tell them the good news. But if they don't want to come with, you wish them peace and joy and you keep moving on. So we've all got these lessons to learn in life. And some people were motivated and inspired. We all could have been out of balance to the degree that we had lessons to learn in life. But one person could have been more motivated and inspired to kind of want to heal and grow and mature themselves and become all they could be. And other people weren't. There's some people in the world, I just want to be in a relationship. I just want to get married. And what do they plan to do within it? Just be married and be in a relationship? It's like, were you planning when you're in a stable, supportive, encouraging environment to do any work on the things that kind of manipulate you and cause you to be up in your head and cause you to be heartbroken? Well, no. Well, we just need to see the truth of it. So there is a part of us, though, that would like to keep staying in those friendships or relationships or jobs because then we don't have to go get a different one. We can stay in our comfort zone. But we know if we did, maybe that we'd feel betrayed by ourselves, that we didn't listen to our intuition, that we didn't grow to our full potential, didn't shine our authentic light in the world. Maybe making our life more about the world, and because shadowy energy can be more about the world, maybe making our life more about ego or image or indulgence or immaturity or fear or insecurity. High vibe people want to free themselves from that shit. They don't want to carry that baggage. I want to work through it to be free of it. I want to heal from my past pain and heartbreak. And high vibe Leo energy is, I choose to be in life-giving energy. I have free will. I can belittle and berate myself and insult myself every day if I want. I can hang out with other people who do that if I wanted. But I have free will. I can create a little hell in my life. I can hang out with people who want to create a little hell in my life. Or I can choose to create a little heaven in my own life. And I can choose to hang out with people who want to create a little heaven in life. And we can know some people in our life who maybe have some growing up to do, some lessons to learn, and how to play nicely with others. We might know some people that are really stressed, got a lot of fears or insecurities about maybe just having hope and faith and belief. Sometimes it can really confuse me, why people don't. And from doing tarot on it to try to figure out the answer, some people, that's just not their truth. I don't. And I don't believe in love. I don't think there's any other purpose. I think life's about living from your mind. The world says, make your life about these things of the world. I try to present myself as a loving person. I want those things of the world. I feel like I'm living the fucking truth. Well, I don't think things are going to turn out the way that they want because they have lessons to learn in life. And they're going to end up feeling betrayed if they haven't already chosen this path because of their own emotional, worldly nature of wanting to look like a shining star, or being self-centered and egotistical, or had other people in their life that were live their life like that and they're just copying that. You know, we can all, how many people have thought that, especially when you're young and growing up, that your worth and value was determined by what you look like and what you wore? You know, at what time did we see through the illusions, realized, I don't give a crap. You know, I'm going to live my authentic life. I am going to look the way I choose to look. I am going to wear the clothes I choose to want to wear. And that might be very conforming to society and looking very nice. You just don't make it the reason why you do it is because it's just what you enjoy or whatever you want to wear or not wear, blah, blah, blah. Where other people, it's just like, oh my gosh, you know, I got to look this certain way. And, you know, there might be other people there. And, you know, I want to wear this because I know they're this type of person. And if I'm wearing that, then they'll think I'm that type of person, or I'll have a certain status or image, or blah, 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 blah. You know, I think some of the people in the world, some people are very stressed out because either they have been heartbroken and they don't trust people anymore. And the whole thing is, again, it's just my own opinion, but since we live in a world of duality and the scales of justice are represented by the scales of justice, I kind of think at any given moment in time, because I think God kind of keeps things in balance, they can tip out of balance for a little bit, but then we kind of have people in the world, you know, protesting and different things because as a collective at large, some people, it's working out for people to live their life the way everybody's been living life. And other people are like, you know, I feel like this isn't working for me anymore. You know, just like in the 1970s with sex, drugs, and rock and roll, it's like, oh my God, I cannot do the 1960s life. I have watched my mom and dad and the Leave It to Beaver or Beaver and Cleaver or whatever those shows were. Oh my God, no, I'm not going to wear high heels and a dress at home every day and vacuum my house. No, I want a career. Or, you know, men, you know, just all these different stereotypes. And the whole thing is, we're meant to grow and change over time. It's just that some people don't want to. And that could be what some people's thing is. You know, the broken heart, of course, reminds me of the Three of Swords, Libra energy. Some people, it can just be seeing the truth. And the anxiety card could be like the Nine of Swords. It's like, you know, there's things I would like about doing life differently. I can count off like the 8, 9 things that would be really great about doing that in my life. But there's that one sword of truth that is like the stumbling block that keeps them in heartbreak, because the Three of Swords comes after the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords can be people wanting to be in denial of the truth. And there's some critical truth that some people don't want to deal with. Maybe they were kind of full of themselves or egotistical, and they don't want to see the truth of that. Maybe they were kind of creating an illusion. They got involved in something or living their life a certain way that really wasn't aligned with their truth, but fear, insecurity, or pain or heartbreak could have made them do what they did. And now, in order to free themselves, they would have to shine their authentic light and speak their truth. Pride comes before the fall. There's high vibe people that have made, you know, we're fallible human beings. Everybody. We've all had all these lessons to learn in life. We're going to have more lessons to learn in life. High vibe people got out of their pride and ego about the situation. I had lessons to learn. I had growing up to do. I had to learn to love myself. I was in codependent energy. And they get out of the shame of it. There's nothing wrong with learning lessons in life. But you have to get out of your pride and ego enough to admit, and some people, they're just like, Oh, I've put in so much work and effort to have people view me a certain way. I kind of have this image of being this loving family person that looks like a shining star in the world, male or female. If I spoke the truth, people wouldn't view me that way anymore. Who really gives a fig for one thing? But, some people are living their life a certain way, trying to make the world view them a certain way. The world could think they're an idiot. Because when you're in shadowy energy, you're not seeing through the illusion. We're caught up in our own ego and our own fear and our own self-importance. And the whole thing is, people in the world are going to view you whatever way they want based on who they are. You could be the nicest, kindest person. You could be Jesus or Mother Teresa. There's going to be people who are going to attack you, because that's who they are. The loving, supportive, encouraging people that have learned lessons in life have also learned some valuable lessons in life. I think people generally applaud people who learn lessons in life. There's always the people in the peanut gallery just waiting for someone to do something. Oh, I would never. And then it's for them to build their ego off of yapping about the mistakes other people made in their life that they would never do. And they're this impeccable human being, and they're sitting there building their ego off of other people than their own life. People want to be critical and harsh, will be. And some people, though, aren't seeing it. They're so kind of caught up in this illusion of how they view themselves and then how they think other people view them, and it can keep them imprisoned. Our shadow nature is represented by the devil. It's all these things that oppress us, confine us, imprison us, our mind, our past pain and heartbreak. Our loving nature is trying to get us to work more cooperatively with our worldly, egoic nature and our more emotionally intuitive, loving nature, and get balance within ourselves. Offer ourselves some love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes we made. And then when we do that work within ourselves, and we realize how hard it is, and we can start to see why other people in our life maybe haven't freed themselves from some of the things that manipulate them. Because it's painful. Really requires you to look at life from a higher perspective. You have to put everything in perspective so that you can release the past. The people in my past that were hurtful, that were unkind, who were bossy, who were controlling, or whatever. They had some lessons to learn in life. And they could have had a completely different life. And my life with them could have been completely different if they had, learned some lessons of how to play nicely with people in a just and fair and loving, warm, authentic way. But the whole thing is, we can't change the past, and the only person we can change is us. So we can sit there in fear and insecurity of heartbreak, staying tipped out of balance, or we offer love to ourselves, high vibe Leo, to give ourselves the things that we wish other people would have given us so we can release the past. And then realizing that at any given moment, probably 50% of the people are more tipped in favor of their loving, nurturing nature, and 50% of the people are kind of in their more worldly or self-focused or immature and indulgent or prideful or egotistical or whatever the shadow nature ways of being people can be. And to believe that we have learned these lessons and we have learned to listen to our intuition. So then let's go up to the top row. So some people already got out of these types of relationships. Some people are just now kind of like making their last offer to some people in their life. Are you willing to move forward with me in this new way that's maybe more just and fair and balanced or authentic and loving? If not, I'm leaving. And some people won't move forward with them. And some people will. So we go up here to the top row, and the yin yang is kind of like I'm balanced between how I want to be when I present myself in the world. I want to be authentically who I say I am. And we could have gotten in relationships with some people who presented themselves as being someone who is motivated and inspired by love, and then found out they have a lot of fear and insecurity about love and don't trust people. And they don't connect in with their emotions and intuition to guide them and have some faith and trust in people, and they get all caught up in their head, and then they could sabotage a relationship or do kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because we'll always prove ourselves right. If I think someone's going to hurt me, well, why? Is it because they know they wear a false mask? Well, how about they take off the mask and they be loving? Well, I'm fearful of being loving. I just can't get that right. But it's just like why people are unwilling to do that. But it wouldn't be such an ego problem if people were just being authentic and loving and warm and open and receptive, as they get to know people as appropriate. Needless, we just yap at people. We don't, get to know people. We're not telling our deepest, darkest secrets. We build trust and everything over time before we might reveal more personal details or get in a romantic relationship with them, right? But some people, it doesn't matter who they're with, because I'm so afraid of being hurt. Do I seem like the people in your past who hurt you? Well, no, but I still, and again, you could look at it as a wounded animal, and they can lash out. But we wish them peace, to give them time to heal. But basically, my dream can't come into reality if you haven't done this work within yourself to figure out why you're so fearful and afraid, or deal with some of your past pain and heartbreak. And I have my life to live. And I want to create a little heaven on earth. I wanted you to come with and be part of it. But if the only way you'll be part of it is if then, you're like a friend and a social acquaintance. I know lots of people like that you're someone I offer love and encouragement to, but you're not someone I can have my dream come into reality with, because we have a different dream. Yours is about protecting yourself from love, and mine is to be in a loving relationship. Two opposing viewpoints. Oil and water. I need to be in a more involved relationship, if I'm going to be in a more involved relationship, with people who have learned some of the same lessons as I've learned. To not take action more out of fear and insecurity and pride and ego, or being bossy or controlling or immature. High vibe Leo, I have tempered my more worldly egoic nature, my more beastly nature, my more all about me nature, or my fears or my insecurities or my immature nature. I need someone who's kind of learned some of the lessons I've learned. Again, it's just like a 30-year-old probably not wanting to be in a relationship with a 15-year-old. How is a 15-year-old going to act in a relationship? It'd be one thing if it's at work and you have to deal with people that have some more immature ways of responding, who don't maintain balance within themselves and talk themselves off the ledge of their fear and their insecurities or their immature, prideful nature, to work cooperatively together to bring a dream into reality. So, yin yang, getting balance within yourself, blossoming abundance, sixth chakra, kind of how you use your mind and your intuition. Angel of love, door to romance, and woman holding coin, which can be like the Queen of Pentacles. And again, the queens can talk about how we think and feel. Down here in masculine energy, we kind of all took action to live our life. High vibe people live their life. They saw the things they did like about that phase of life, the things they didn't like about that phase of life. When it seemed like they were ready to go to the next phase of life and face their fears to go there, they offered love to the people that were in their life. Who wants to move forward with me in this way? Some people move forward with them in this way. And part of that new way was we have to grow up and mature ourselves and quit being out of balance and keep being like immature players. And we need to grow up. We need to emotionally mature ourselves. We need to get out of our false mask. We got to quit hiding behind our ego. Quit acting like, I don't know, immature or codependent people. We need to learn to love ourselves. Heal from our past pain and heartbreak so we can be free of it and really have our dreams come into reality. So, during that phase of life, the people did this work within themselves and they took action out of love for themselves and love of others to offer people love to come with me in this way and gave the people in their life free will choice. I'm not going to try to manipulate you. I'm not going to try to control you. I'm not going to belittle and berate you. This is how I'm moving forward. Does this interest you or not? And that's sometimes when we can see that's not some people's truth. And their truth might be, I'm okay still living my life like this. Not maybe dealing with my fears or my insecurities or my past pain and heartbreak. Or I still want to be kind of more immature. I still got lessons to learn that you've learned that I haven't learned. I can't even move to that next phase of life. I have a lot of lessons to learn yet. And I am nowhere there. And we maybe just previously had wanted to see the truth of it. So then high vibe people see the truth. They listen to their intuition out of love for themselves. They free themselves from being enslaved by their own shadow nature that maybe causes them to enable other people kind of in poor behavior. And because when we enable other people in poor behavior, whatever imprisons them, we willingly let imprison us. And it's out of love for myself. Love isn't about being imprisoned and enslaved and oppressed and confined. And it's to learn this lesson. I can love people, and if being in relationship with them requires me to indulge them in poor behavior, then we're both out of balance. Because love is about treating other people the way you like to be treated. And we have lessons to learn about being too much in our heart nature, where we think that's like the most important thing. Oh, but I love them. Love is important, but love requires justice and fairness and balance. And being in relationships with people who cause us a lot of stress and anxiety and pain and heartbreak because they're acting in immature ways, trying to manipulate us, trying to triangulate us, It's like my own shadow nature is going in the back seat. My loving nature and intuitive nature is driving my vehicle. My shadow nature can yap in the back seat like an immature child because it wants the things it wants. And I'm going to tell it, be my own best mother, father, coach voice, or my own more, I want what I want nature pops up. We're going to get the things that we want in time. Temperance is also about being patient. We all want what we want, and we'd all like it right now. Well, we can go indulge in things that seem like it's almost right, or kind of right, or get some features about it that I like. But is it the truth? Why, if I'm this emotionally complex human being that has a hard time detaching from people, why would I get myself emotionally entangled with people when I don't really think we're on the same page? Why would I want to do that to myself? Cause myself a lot of stress and anxiety and pain and heartbreak. Or cause someone else pain and heartbreak because I'm not being authentic. I just want to be in a relationship or indulge in somebody for a while or just to feel better. I'm like using you like a beer or a drug. You know, I don't want to do that. And I don't want someone to do that to me. So I'm going to treat other people the way I want to be treated. And I'm not going to use someone for the time being. You know, the Queen of Pentacles talks about we have our own unique talents, skills, and interests. We can be a very loving, nurturing person, would like to be in a loving, nurturing, romantic relationship, and nobody is around that we know that seems to be the right person. Well, there's all these other things we can invest in that are also part of our dream. How about our own unique talent, skills, and interests? What drives and motivates us? What do we enjoy? You know, and just enjoying the simple pleasures in life and just the people and friends and family in our life. And though I think putting in work and effort to those things that are unique to us, Aquarius energy is very unique energy. So for all of us, it talks about what are the things that kind of are your thing, you know? Is it bugs, astronomy, stars, you know, who knows? Tarot, music, art. You know, we were all given our unique talent, skills, and interests for a reason. They're not the same as what everyone else has, and that's okay. But maybe we have a particular interest in something because we could kind of do something with it to help the world. Might be why we have it, you know? Even if it is like math, science, you know, that you could get in a profession like that, you know. It's like God wants to manifest to see how amazing human beings can become. Listening to their intuition and their creativity. Look at all the things that human beings have manifested into reality since caveman days, you know. None of this shit just magically appeared one day. Poof. No, people had to listen to their intuition. People had to listen to their creativity. You know how music has changed, how painting, just everything. And it would really give people a lot of joy and pleasure. There's a lot of things that we can invest our time, energy, and effort into other than trying to indulge in maybe relationships or something just to feel better. You know, there's some people. So then I think when the high vibe people are moving forward, everybody could have kind of felt betrayed that things didn't work out with to move forward with together, whether it's a friend, a family member, a romantic interest. They feel like you've changed. They could think that you're full of yourself or you live in la la land. You know, you're not being practical or something. And you could probably feel betrayed by them because they lack some hope and faith and belief and love or something. And they could be like, shit, this was just fine. I don't know why you weren't good enough with it. I was. You know? And it's like, you know, to each their own. Anyway. So then we come up here. And I think, you know, it takes people this time within themselves to emotionally heal. I think high vibe people offer love to other people in their life who they think might have some fears and insecurities about loving and believing in themselves. But now they've learned to be balanced about it. I'm not going to let my more emotionally loving nature just run my life. High vibe energy is I have to, all aspects of myself are important. Love should be the guiding reason for maybe all the decisions that I make, but it has to be just and fair and balanced. And if it's not, I have to balance out my more worldly, egoic nature and my loving nature to maintain balance within myself. I offer people in the world love and encouragement to move forward with me in this way, while I'm doing this work within myself to take action towards loving and believing in myself, maintaining balance in myself, having hope and faith and belief in my dreams, and accepting that if some people in my life that I might know and meet and make these offers to, if they're not moving forward with me, some of them have already are people who are in their own loving, nurturing relationships like that. And they in turn are offering me peace and love and joy that I hope things work out for you. But I've already taken action and invested in my dream. And with the people that I'm in relationship with, that I'm working to bring my dream into reality. And they want us to keep just like we would to other people. You know, as we're moving forward in our life, there might be people who approach us, and the woman holding coin can be in workplaces, families, relationships, and marriages. You know, there might be some other people at one time, at some future point in time for some of you right now, people who previously hadn't moved forward with you that have done this work within them that now would like to rekindle. If it's just a friendship, that's of course different than a romantic interest. And some of you, you know, would offer them all love and encouragement and happy that they worked through some issues in their life and wish them the best. But I've already invested in a dream. You know, and just because some people could have freed themselves from some things in their life, because you might know some people that got quite a few issues they need to put some work and effort into resolving, and they might solve one and think then, oh, well, now I can come back and be in a relationship with you. It's like, well, that's good that you solved that one. I'm glad. And I don't think there's no point really, I don't think, wasting your breath on people who haven't seen the truth for themselves. And you might know, well, what about this and what about that? And what about these other things that I know are kind of issues of yours? But they might think this one issue is like the critical thing. And if that's over or not doing that anymore, then I can come back. It's like, no, I kind of realized throughout this whole process of looking at life from a higher perspective, and I kind of realized, you know, there could have been a lot more lessons also that I realized I had learned about being tempered or balanced or hopeful or believing or loving that maybe you haven't learned. And I don't think there's any need to point it out. But we just might say, you know, even I've just looked at life differently. And then, of course, there's some people, they've did things that were so hurtful and harmful. It's like, you know, it is just like a social acquaintance. I'm glad, you know, if somebody wanted to apologize, thank you. You know, it can relieve some of the tension. We can be socially polite when we see each other in public. Do I want to get into any closer of a friendship or relationship or back into a romantic relationship? No. You know, we don't want to do it out of pride or ego, but out of authenticity. That I just know there's still ways that you live your life, and I'm sorry if something that you were in didn't work out for you. And if when I get to know you, if you're someone new or get reacquainted with you, if I haven't seen you for a while, if we're not on the same page, I'm up here with the feminine figures, just meaning I'm no longer operating more, whether I'm male or female, from my more egoic nature. Might I have love for you? Might I wish you the best? Might I want to be in a relationship with you? Yes. But now I've learned to listen to my intuition. And if my intuition tells me that you emotionally still have these things that manipulate you, or I think you're being manipulative, or I think you're trying to tempt me in my lust or my greed or my pride or my ego or my want for a relationship or whatever, if my intuition tells me to move away from you and wish you peace, that is what I will be doing. Because I don't want to repeat this pattern anymore. I need to be in relationships with people who are on the same page as me. And I wish you peace, love, and joy, but it won't be me. And just like we could say that to people, there could be some people that we know in the world who would have to say that to us, and some just because they're in loving relationships of their own. You know, and we met them and thought, hey, you know, you seem like a really nice person. Maybe we could hang out. And they're like, oh, sorry. But they offer love to people. And some people, you know, they can really get in their ego about that, you know, and really take it personally. You know, again, we have to look at it that there's that unique thing that happens. And some people don't get that, you know, a little bit more kind of out of balance, maybe in their ego or whatever. And some people are like, I wish you peace, love, and joy, but, I just don't think that we have that kind of connection, and we got to respect that. We've felt that way towards other people also. But some people really take it personally, and it really puts them down in shadowy energy, So, or nobody is making an offer, keep doing this work within yourself to keep loving and believing in yourself. Sometimes we got to realize some people turn their back to us because they want us to be in shadowy energy. Makes them feel more something. And sometimes we have to realize that too. So sometimes we don't know the reason. It could be anywhere on the continuum. If you don't know them well enough, assume they're lovely people who are in lovely relationships of their own. And that's why. But for some other people, it really could be that they are not who they present themselves to be, that maybe they're a little bit more shadowy, and we just accept the truth of it. We believe that God has a plan for our life. We keep having hope and faith and belief and moving forward in life. So, but it looks like the new people listening to their intuition, they could have thought there was someone in their past that they viewed as a balanced person, that maybe they could have rejected before or gotten out of a friendship or relationship when they had some lessons learned, and then they could have offered that person love. If that person's on the same page, you'll have a new beginning together. But the whole thing is, if people aren't taking action, or they do come take action, then you realize, oh wait, I thought I knew you, or I did know you a long time ago, but now I think we're not on the same page. Whatever the case is, you're going to listen to their intuition. And if they don't, you're going to keep moving forward, investing in your dreams regardless. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Leo energy that they might not see coming? Some of you, if it's not a new relationship or just even new friendship or reconnection in with some people in your life, for some of you it could be getting a new job that will be something that will make you very happy. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Justice card, the High Priestess card, the Ace of Cups, and the reason it came out is because of the King of Pentacles. So now we have a match. And this is what people are doing within themselves. Now we have masculine energies, which again, people taking action. If we've been in a situation that causes some pain or heartbreak, it does take time because we are these emotionally complex people and human beings to work through all that, to get to a place of, I am willing to accept that everybody is where they're at, accept that we're not on the same page with everybody. They have their dreams, I have my dreams, and I'm letting go of that past dream or with that particular person to look to the future. And then we have masculine energies taking action. And when our intuition tells us it's right for us, that's when we take action on it. So being someone who emotionally, internally is a Queen of Pentacles, the high vibe people are taking action in the world as authentically a King of Pentacles. And that's a true reflection of who they are internally. They have emotionally grown and matured themselves, and they are ready to be a student of life, to take the lessons they've learned to have a new beginning. And they're going to offer love to get the justice they deserve, and offer love to themselves to maintain balance within themselves. And they're going to listen to their intuition and move forward in the energy of love. And this is like God saying, keep moving forward, keep doing this work within yourself. You will have new emotional beginnings in workplaces, friendships, family dynamics, romantic, if you're not in a relationship, because that's what you're aligned with within yourself. And if you keep taking action like this, you're no longer investing your time, energy, and effort into you indulging in poor behavior, spending your time, energy, and effort with people who aren't on the same page as you. And so you're only investing your time, energy, and effort into those things that are aligned with your truth. Eventually you're going to meet some people that are on the same page as you. Or keep working with the people who you are on the same page with. If you're already people that have gotten in those relationships or had the people in your life that are continuing to move forward with you. And you will get the justice you deserve. What you align with within yourself will kind of indicate, what you are going to manifest in your outer reality. And previously, people could have been loving, nurturing people. They just weren't looking at things from a higher perspective, so they could have indulged people in kind of poor behavior because, well, isn't the most important thing to love people? It is, but it requires justice and fairness and balance, where other people treat you the way you treat them. And if they're not, that's an injustice, and you're equally as out of balance. And I think this means that other people are going to go on this journey with you. They see you as someone they would like to hire, be friends with, date, or marry, or a good parent. And they want to move forward with you because they're intuitive that your motivations are true. You're not trying to manipulate and control anyone. You're not trying to, manipulate and control anyone. You want everyone to grow to their full potential, including you. And I think the people who don't have their judgment clouded by something and that are free, have learned the same lessons that you have that are on this journey with you, will move forward with you in that way. What's coming up for the people who might harness a more worldly or shadowy Leo energy that they might not see coming? Cup. The Ace of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Lovers, the Emperor, the Four of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Devil. And the reason this came out is because of the Tower. So if there's been some people living in denial, and if they've been immature, bossy, controlling, full of themselves, whatever, well, if they had some loving people in their life that they thought would, because they had love for them, they never thought those people would leave. Like, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this, because basically I'm using the love that these people have for me to manipulate them. And love is a powerful thing. And I'm going to use the love they have for me to cause them stress and anxiety and pain and heartbreak so I can go do whatever the hell I want to go do or live life the way I want to live it or act in these shadowy ways. I bet they'll never leave. Well, they're going to be shocked, some of them. Because again, loving people can be in relationships with shadowy people, and they put a lot of work and effort into trying to make things successful. Just like people who stay at jobs where people are kind of unfair, unjust, immature, whatever. They keep hoping people will, shape up. And eventually people are like, I'm leaving. They've been offering them love to work through their fears and insecurities, from love to make better decisions in their life, to heal, to work through. Put in some work and effort to work through the fears and insecurities or immature, bossy, unloving ways of being that they have. And the other people keep making the free will choice not to do that. And we can only stay in denial so long, and eventually, Judgment Day. I am no longer in denial of the truth. I wish you peace, love, and joy, but I offered my self-love to get out of my mental prison about why I would keep staying in this relationship when you keep not making the free will choice to treat me in a just and fair and loving and authentic way. And I saw the truth. Love is a free will choice. And some people choose to still be more about themselves and living more from their mind than their heart, and they want me to keep moving forward with me being in a relationship with the devil. Someone who's acting in poor behavior. And I'm not going to do it anymore. Love is a free will choice, and I'm inspired by love, and I took this time to heal, to work through my own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs about why would I stay in a relationship or a workplace where somebody is creating a little hell on earth? It's a choice. And they have a choice every day how they choose to act and speak and whatever. And so do I. And I feel I've done everything I could. I was offering truth and love to someone who is acting in poor behavior. And if they were motivated and inspired to live their life that way, they would. And apparently they don't, and I now see the truth of it. And now I'm going to take the lessons I've learned to face my own fears about detaching from this foundation and moving forward and having a new beginning. And some people are experiencing a tower moment. For some of you, when you did that to someone, they were shocked that you saw through the illusion and the manipulation and the emotional confusion, because they were probably trying to, or just that you weren't going to keep indulging them anymore in their poor behavior. Shocked that you were willing to be like a good mother, father, coach voice to yourself. And some of these people you could have looked to kind of play that role in your life, viewed them as a loving person, an encouraging person. And maybe at one time they were, but apparently they weren't for a while. Something happened. And during that time, you were probably still being loving and encouraging, and then they kept investing in not wanting to see the truth. Because there was some truth they did not want to see. They want to keep staying in denial of the truth, which could be, again, it's supposed to be just and fair. The scales can't be kind of tipped in my favor. Isn't this good enough if I just present myself as loving to them and in the world when we go out? No, high vibe Leo energy wants deep, meaningful, authentic relationships, not shallow, superficial relationships. They might be okay with that, but other people aren't. Another thing they might not see coming is they might have someone else willing to get in a relationship with them, because God uses people and uses all of us in relationship to other people to try to get people to see the truth. God could use loving people. The loving people have something to learn about maybe being less naive, gullible, codependent, overgiving by getting in relationships with some shadowy people. But the shadowy people also get to be in a relationship with a really loving, nurturing, authentic person. And then it can be really hard. They might think, no. When it gets to the point where they have to heal or grow or mature themselves, they're like, oh, no. I'm just going to go get in a relationship with someone else. Well, it's pretty hard to go get in a relationship with someone else when they know that they were in a relationship with someone who was very loving, nurturing, balanced, creative, inspired, that they were attracted to. And now they're going to get in a relationship with someone who's more like them, defensive or cold or stressed or fearful or fake or superficial or bossy or controlling or immature. It's hard to go back to an old way of life when you found out what it's like to kind of be in a more emotionally mature, stable, grounded, loving relationship, right? And some people could think, oh no, I could go back to doing life like this. I'm going to go back to living like a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old, or I'll just go find someone else to get in a relationship. Any relationship's okay. I just really don't want to have to grow or mature or heal myself. I just kind of want to indulge in a relationship. Well, for one, they might find people are willing to be in a relationship with them. Possibly the devil can mean money, status, image, ego, indulgence, but it's not love. They might get in relationships with people someone else that they could think they're attracted to, but maybe that person operates from an unstable foundation just like them. And some people could think again, this kind of blanket way of thinking. Oh, well, I'll just go find another person to get in a relationship. I'm sure, and that can be some people, if I just present myself like this, people will want to be in a relationship. Those other people did. Well, not everybody does. And Other people who we might have had that unique connection with, we're willing to put in a lot of work and effort to kind of indulge people in poor behavior. Other people less so. And so, and overall, I think it's just not going to work out for them with the Tower card. They can get in a relationship, present it to the world of how wonderful and everything it is. It's just not going to be based on love. Not by two people, not if one of the people is still in shadowy, worldly, egoic, defensive, more self-centered ways of being. In order to have a truly abundant foundation, both people have to be planting seeds from love and hope and faith and belief. And if some of these people are not willing to do that, then it's kind of going to be an unstable foundation, because one person could be and the other person isn't, or neither one of them are. But they might stay in it anyway because of the money, the status, and the image. Some people are really stressed and heartbroken because they did push loving people away in their life. But because they're unwilling to reveal the truth, because the truth sets us free, they'll maybe keep trying to hide the truth, not deal with the truth. And if it's something within them, it'll keep affecting their other relationships until they deal with it. Let's ask, what is it? Okay. We had some cards pop out. What is it that some of these people don't want to deal with the truth of? Has to do with these two cards, and the reason they came out is the Seven of Swords, which again, the person's holding the 5 swords. I have a dream, but then they have the 2 swords. I don't want to see the truth. Some people are just juggling. I want to be in relationships, but I don't want to have to pick a path. I want to present myself this way, but really be more motivated by this. I don't want to have to choose love, but I also have a hard time within myself, maybe, admitting that I am more worldly focused, self-focused, materialistic focused, whatever truth. But it has something to do with these 2 cards, the Queen of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles, which is juggling. Because they didn't want to deal with the fact that either they think it's just and fair, kind of in their egoic nature, thinking they could juggle people, or I don't really have to pick a path. Other people left. Some of the high vibe people in their life left. They could have had different people leave their life. They could have had someone who was high vibe Leo, loving, warm, nurturing. They could have had someone else leave their life because they were juggling too. And now some of these people, so those people left their life. That's why they're not showing themselves. And maybe they were trying to juggle 2 people. Well, I haven't decided. Do I want to do loving and warm and authentic, or do I want to do the world and make my life about that, or not pick a path? And they could have tried to get in a relationship with someone, rejected the loving people, tried to get in a relationship with someone who they thought was more on the same page as them. But again, if you want to get in relationships with people, but you don't really want to do love, they have some hard lessons to learn. And they might have been kind of deceived and manipulated by someone. Oh yeah, I want to do love. Look at me. I want to do love. I'm just like the loving people you'd been in a relationship with. I will indulge you in your ego or whatever ways of life. And, but that person was being deceptive. They could have just wanted to get in it for whatever reasons they had. Now, a person could feel stuck, like, I could have tried to juggle 2 people because I wasn't sure who I wanted to be in a relationship with, and now they both left my life. Whoops. Well, that's what can happen when you think you can kind of manipulate people. You know, it's always best if we tell people, I guess, why we're doing what we're doing and why we're taking the action that we're taking. And some people thought they could get away with it. Like, I'm going to go indulge in this or indulge in this behavior. I bet you won't see the truth. And then if whatever way I'm indulging in my life or way I'm acting, if I decide not to do that, then I think I could maybe come back and get back in a relationship with you. And some of those people might pop back up in your life wanting to get back in a relationship with you. Like, oh, I'm not investing in that person or investing in that anymore, like I said. And it's like, that's good. I'm glad. But no, I've moved on. I have seen more about this than you think I have. And that could be the shock to them. And for some, it was a shock. For some of you, that already happened again, you know, and you're still moving forward. But some people thought, oh, I'm going to go indulge in this. And then when I quit that, I'm sure the other person will want to come back and balance things out with me, maybe. And the other people kept moving on. And I was like, wait, I quit investing in whatever I was investing in. You're supposed to come back and get in a relationship with me. I'm probably in my pride and ego. I'm not going to approach you. You're supposed to come back and want to get in a relationship with me because I'm not doing that anymore. And the other people are like, yeah, I saw you doing that. I saw you did that. But I guess in the meantime, while you were doing that, I did this work within myself to get balance within myself and listen to my intuition. And I think I've learned everything I needed to learn from that relationship. And I really don't want to learn any more lessons from you. So I think I'm leaving and just continuing on. And that's a tower moment for some people. That the different people that they've tried to juggle in their life, and the high vibe, other people are getting in relationships with other people who aren't juggling. So there you go, Leo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.